premiere episode of the first series on the surnames and families of Colonial America. After producing 4 seasons exploring the surnames and early families of Appalachia and the American South, it occurred to me that nearly all the families I researched were of colonial descent and from various parts of Colonial America. I also listened to many of your comments and suggestions over the 4 seasons, and I've tried to incorporate many of them into today's episode without losing sight of my goal to discuss these families in both a cultural and historical context. For those of you who are new to the Vanntage Point, I'm a retired professor, college professor of historical geography, and the author of 8 books and a couple dozen articles. I have doctorates from the University of Arkansas and the University of Glasgow in Scotland. I've missed our little community over the past few weeks as I recovered from a minor heart procedure. So, without further delay, let's get started. I hope you'll join me. Number 1, Downs, or Down. Or Downs. Right off the bat, we have a family name that sounds like it was given to a person who was down on his luck. But is that true? I'm happy to report that it was actually given to an English person who lived on a low-lying piece of land. In Appalachia, we'd say something like, "Well, that's old Jim. He lives down yonder in the holler." While it's a linguistically English surname, it has a historic presence among the traditional names of Ireland, where it appears as an anglicized form of the Irish Gaelic which means the grandson or descendant of the little black one. Downs is not limited to England and Ireland, though. It first appears in the records of Glasgow, Scotland in 1709. But George Fraser Black argues that it was imported into Scotland from Ireland. That makes a lot of sense to me because there was a lot of going back and forth across the old North Channel of the Irish Sea. I wrote a book on it called In Search of Ulster Scotsland, The Birth and Geotheological Imagings of a Transatlantic People. You should check it out. University of South Carolina Press. Anyway, the earliest colonial American named Downs that I found was John Downs Sr. He was born in 1630 in Kent, England. You might note that Kent is the county in which the Utes or Jutes from what is today Denmark began settling southeastern England in the 5th century. It was also the location of the decisive Battle of Hastings on October 14, 1066. The bloody carnage was pivotal because it assured the Norman conquest, which introduced some 10,000 French words, including names, into the English language. At any rate, John Downs Sr. immigrated to France and settled in what would become New Haven County, Connecticut. The county was founded in 1666. Not sure if he was there before 1666 or after, but certainly John and his wife, Mary Chaffinch, what's it tell me? Chaffinch, had at least 8 kids. The couple passed away in New Haven in 1679. At the end of the day, you'll have to check your paper trail to determine if your line goes back to England, Ireland, or Scotland. Number 2, Hartley. When I received the request for Hartley, several famous people came to mind. They included the American actress Mariette Hartley, born in I always want to say 1640, but it's 1940. Anyway, Mariette was a lady who was on Star Trek once in one episode, very memorable because of her attire, and she had something of a relationship with Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock, Captain Kirk, this is Mr. Spock. But anyway, you can also find the name associated with the English musician Wallace Henry Hartley, born in 1878, died in 1912. If you don't recall Wallace Hartley, take a look at his death date. April 15th, not tax day, 1912. There were no income taxes then, in the United States that is. It provides a hint of where and how he died. He was the brave violinist who played his instrument while the Titanic sank into its icy grave in the North Atlantic. Thankfully, he and his violin were recovered. I was blessed to see his fiddle, which was on temporary display in a museum in Sevierville, Tennessee. Linguistically, Hartley originated in Lancashire, England, which is the same county in which Wallace Hartley was born and now rests. It was a habitational name that was given to one who lived in a woodland clearing. As with Downs, it was picked up in Ireland as an anglicized form of a name, a Gaelic name. In this particular case, it's which means the grandson or descendant of Artgal, I think that's how you pronounce it, which means bear hero. Again, like Downs, Hartley was introduced into Scotland. It did so in the 13th century, however, when a fellow named Michael Hartley, I'm having a hard time speaking today, folks, sorry about that, Hartley, fled Carlisle, England in 1298. His brother Andrew, the Earl of Carlisle, had just been executed for treason, so either Michael was guilty too, or he was afraid of being unfairly convicted. Looking on the western side of the Atlantic, the earliest American named Hartley that I could find was John Richard Hartley, born in 1735, died in 1783. Like John Downs Sr., Mr. Hartley was born in England and immigrated to America. He settled in Rowan County, North Carolina. He and his wife Abigail had at least 8 children. In addition to America, I found quite a few people named Hartley in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Wales. You might just have quite a few distant cousins living throughout the British Commonwealth, Ireland, and Scotland. Number 3, Rataba, or, well, you get the picture. There's about 4 different versions of it. This is a quintessential Westphalian family name. Now, someone probably just thought or uttered, I ain't never heard of that Westphalian before. Well, that's okay. How about northwestern Germany? That's where it was. That's where Westphalia is located, northwestern Germany. That's where the name Rottenbach originated, or Rattenbach. Rataba and Rataba are Americanized spelling forms of the original German spellings. It was a habitational name. In addition to America and Germany, there are families of Rattenbach found in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Both of those countries are in they're in southern part of Africa. The earliest line of Rataba in America that I could find was indeed colonial. Johann Heinrich Rataba, born 1697, died in 1762, was born in Kurfürstentum, I'll put it up here, thoughts by Rhine, which means he lived by the Rhine River, and that's an important state within the Holy Roman Empire. It was anyway, and today it's an influential wine region within Germany. Johann Heinrich Rataba settled in Berks County, Pennsylvania, where he and his wife Anna Appalachia Regal raised a family of at least 4 young ones. Johann passed away there in 1762, and Anna lived her remaining 7 years in Berks County as well. I'm more than confident that Rataba and its various forms is a colonial American family of Germanic origin. Number 4, Burrow or Burrows. As a fan of American football and basketball, I couldn't help but associate the surname Burrow or Burrows with Joe Burrow, the current starting quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he also won the Heisman Trophy Award. Joe's family name Burrow is English and was first given to one who lived in a fortified town or borough, like Middlesboro, Kentucky, which is about 30 miles north of where I live. There are several places in England with Burrow appearing as part, if not all, of its name. So Burrow is either habitational or toponymic. As far as I can tell, it has nothing to do with a small donkey called a burro, like they have down in Mexico. The S was added to Burrow to identify the son of a person named Burrow, or it was preferred or referred to a family of people named Burrow, like them Burrows down there. Them Burrows down there. Whew, boy, my English is slipping in and out of Appalachian form. I found genealogical records of people named Burrow or Burrows in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. In America, it's one of the earliest families in the country, or in America. Robert Burrows was born in England around 1620, at about the same time that the Puritan separatists landed in Plymouth Rock, up in Massachusetts. Robert left England and settled in New London, Connecticut. He and his wife, Maria, had a family and raised at least 2 sons, John Burrows Sr. and Samuel Burrows. I don't know if he had any kids named Samuel or not, but anyway. Both Maria and Robert passed away in New London nearly a century before the first shots were fired in the American Revolution. At the end of the day, I'm confident that Burrow or Burrows is a colonial American family of English origin. You might note that I didn't find either form, Burrow or Burrows, among the traditional families in Ireland or Scotland or Wales. Well, folks, that's about all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me. If you'd like a free copy of the surnames and families that we've covered thus far on the Vanntage Point, all 4 seasons, write to me at vantagepoint22@gmail.com and I'll send it to you as an attachment. Until I see you again, may the good Lord bless and keep you. May He make His face shine on you and give you peace. Bye-bye.